everyone. I'm Marie McNeal, and welcome back to Good Global Vibes. So this week, we have part 2 of the marriage inquiry for you. You're going to love it. Remember, part 1, if you've seen it, I told you we were asking some juicy questions. And we have 5 couples who all of their marriages work. And that's why we're asking them and what they're willing to share and their authenticity. It's just beautiful. This week, one of the things we're talking about is, what do you wish someone would have told you before you were married? So let's dive right in. Anyone else? What had you get married?
Well, it's kind of funny when Dan spoke, he spoke about all of his friends getting married. I'm originally from Utrecht, the Netherlands, where we met, and we're here tonight with the friend who introduced us. And Mark and I were kind of admiring each other from afar for 2 years while Mark kept traveling from the United States to Holland. And finally, one night we fessed up our love to each other. And when we did, literally within 2 weeks, we were living together and clear that this was my soulmate, my, a familiarity of having been together in past lifetimes. I told him, I want you for more lifetimes. Like you and I fit together. We're just so compatible. So we joke around that we said we got married for a green card because I moved to the United States and for me to stay. And we make it look good for the INS. But so that's 43 years ago that we got married in September. And but it was right from the get-go. We started talking about children, a son, Joshua, and a daughter, Sasha. I would say within the first weeks of being together. So it was just crystal clear once we finally connected that this was meant to be, and this was going to be an extraordinary journey.
Thank you, Monique. Bart?
Well, I won't contradict any of that. No, no, that's all true. And yeah, I think we did have the benefit of being friends for a couple of years before just having this, the sparks fly and the pent up demand, trying to catch up and all of that. But it just felt like this is the one. This is the person I just want to be with for forever. And it's funny because Monique is from Holland. We did look at, okay, if we do get married, you do get the green card. We can get financial aid because we were both in school. We'll have a wedding. This is what it'll cost. Maybe we make some money. But then her parents, being Dutch, said, well, first of all, why are you getting married? Can't you just live together? Because none of our friends in Holland were getting married. It just wasn't the thing to do at the time. And they said, well, if you get married, then, this little student stipend we've been sending, that gets shut up. So we did the calculation and we said, oh, geez, it comes out about even. Well, let's get married anyway. And I think that was about just having the commitment and letting everybody else know that we had that commitment for each other and for our future together. And we could have just lived together, but it just felt right to say, hey, this is it. We want everybody to know.
So the next question is, what do you wish you would have known before you got married? Those moments where you're like, I wish someone would have told me that. That would have made this part a lot easier, or something like that, right?
Maybe it was around children that I think I would have liked to have known that children aren't a 24/7 job. They're a 60 seconds every minute job.
Got it.
So I would say that you're responsible for all of it all the time. Like you're responsible for all of it, all of the time. The things that you know about and things you don't.
I can add to that
Okay.
because I agree with that. It's the classic breakdown that we ask is, if you're in a marriage, how do you break up the responsibility? And most people go, it's 50-50, and then from that perspective, it's doomed to failure. It's only when you take 100% accountability on each side, because none of us are ever perfect. We're always making mistakes. But, if I'm operating at a low grade 60% and my wife's coming in at 90% on that day, then we've got more than 100% responsibility on the table for everything else that's going on. So that's, the way I'm interpreting exactly what you just said, which is, that we're just responsible all the time. And, I don't want to do the dishes 5 times a day. But with cooking for kids and, the family, and both of us cooking all the time, and regardless of whether the dishwasher is working or not, the dishes have to get done. And sometimes I walk in and, I'm like, I just don't want to clean the kitchen again. But that's exactly what there is to do. So taking on that, quite often there's exactly what there is that has to be taken care of is right in front of you. And regardless of whether you as a person feel like doing it, which is something we're always trying to encourage the kids to learn. It doesn't really matter if you don't feel like brushing your teeth. It's necessary, right? So but this goes all the way through life, right? And all the way through the depth of our relationship. There's quite often, I'm not in a mood to listen to what Brooke has to say or needs to say in that moment, often because I just want to fix whatever's, not working for her. And we all know this is classic at least in the masculine feminine dynamic, she just really needs me to hear her, not fix anything. And I get agitated when I can't just fix the problem, and instead of listening to it for the 5th or 6th time. So this is a classic, I think, thing between us, is, for me anyway, is on top of that is just really understanding the depth of which it is my responsibility to, be there, be present, be conscious in the relationship, be conscious in the marriage, be conscious in the raising of the children. And I'm challenged by that often because I want to check out and go into my own little, headspace. And then the beauty of our marriage is that Brooke is a deep demand for me to be present, even when I don't want to be.
That was really great. The other thing that I was that popped up too is being able to, for me, when I say being responsible for all of it all the time, is like being able to hold the space for whatever is happening, whether good, bad, or indifferent. And just be like, oh yeah, these shoulders can handle it. Just bring it on.
Brooke?
Yeah, I think I wish someone would have told me that I have to fill up my cup first to be able to give in the home, and that my energy is the focal point of the household. So my vibrational code in the middle of this house is the dominant vibration. And so filling up my cup every single day is so important. I wish I would have known that. I didn't figure that out until after having children when they were very young, and I felt very overwhelmed. And now I know, but I wish I would have known ahead of time that I have to take care of myself to be able to give to my husband in the way that he needs. And to be in my feminine energy. Damien is a demand for that, to be able to soften and show up with my beauty and my love and my nurturing energy is only possible if I am filled, if I'm self-fulfilled. So I wish I would have known that.
So the thing I wish I would have known before I got married is that it was never going to be about me ever again. So the minute that we met, it was pretty instantaneous that this was going somewhere. Like I can remember that very first day, like it was yesterday, and it's been 19 years. When Kamau moved to America, I had been living a great life, doing all the things that I was Brooke, taking care of myself 24/7. This is all hooked up all the time. And so when Kamau moved to America, that was no longer the primary. And so we instantly got married, had kids. We have 2 teenagers, 14 and 16. And even today, like with what happened earlier today with this, it's if I would have known, and I've learned over 19 years that it's not about me and it's never going to be about me again. It's all about the greater good. That's what's given me my life for 19 years. It's always about the greater good. Like we just hopped on the back of a motorcycle, came over here to the shop, and I was going to do Kamau's hair. I didn't know that we were going to be doing this. I am not prepared. This is not cute the way I like to be cute before going on camera. But I also feel like it's okay to drop, stop, drop, and roll. There's a fire. Just stop, drop, and roll. I can put down the comb, not do his hair, be with all of you because it's for the greater good. And I think that that is the most fulfilling thing that I've gotten out of being married is when you stop, drop, and roll. You're like, okay, it's not about you. And it's happened a few times where something's happened with the children and we've just like stopped everything we were doing and go and take care of the kids. Or something happens in our business. We have a couple of companies and you just stop. And so if someone would have told me that it would never be about me again, that would have been a nice thing to know. And that the greater good, that transcendence of self and transcendence of marriage, family, community would give me the gifts that I've gotten. It wouldn't change anything, but it would have prepared me.
I wouldn't have gotten married.
If you would have known it was for the greater good.
If I had known it wasn't going to be about me no more, I wouldn't have gotten married.
It's funny because it is kind of a blessing that neither of us do that. We are very, very self-centered people. And when we got married, we learned to dance with each other. And then when the kids came, we learned to dance with that. And when the business got big, the bigger the business got, the older the kids got, the more we've learned to like just dance inside of all of it. I actually think it's the greatest thing I've gotten from being married.
There is something about transcending yourself, being able to transcend from I to we or us is the thing that really makes or breaks something. Because when you go from I being the most important thing to now it's we, it's a whole different world, it's a whole different set of rules.
Yep.
Wasn't that amazing? Like their authenticity, it just moves me. And what they're willing to share, it's really a gift. And I'm really honored to have them on Good Global Vibes. So first of all, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And please share it with anyone that you think it will make a difference for. And stay tuned for next week, part 3 of the Marriage Inquiry. Aloha.